Welcome to another episode of the Embracing Joy podcast. And I'm thrilled to introduce to you all our special guest, Maddie Andrews, for our topic From Surviving to Leading. Maddie Andrews' take on mental health, purpose, and balance. It's such a pleasure to have you on today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm extremely excited.
Well, before I told you already how excited I am have Maddie on, but I want to tell you some more about her. She's a Master's of Social Work student at UNC Chapel Hill. So we have a lot of Chapel Hill fans in the audience. She's a peer support specialist. She's a nonprofit founder, and she's a mental health advocate and former educator. She actually taught special education for 10 years. Her journey of school and different careers while navigating serious mental illness almost cost her life. Today, she's able to do more than she ever imagined, thanks to balance. So, thank you for being so vulnerable and coming here today to share your story.
Thank you. I think it's important to lift voices, which is exactly what you're doing with this podcast, and to normalize the conversation around mental health. So I thank you.
Yeah, before we get started, we're just going to do our quick warm up game called Convergence. And on the count of three, we'll say the first word that comes to mind, okay? One, two, three.
Water.
Science. Somehow science came to mind. Okay. Science and water. Ready? On
Oh
the
my gosh. Okay.
okay. And nothing too specific. Okay. One, two, three. Droplet.
I was going to say beaker, but that's a little bit
Oh,
specific.
that's okay. So beaker and a droplet. Well, we're kind of, excuse me, y'all have a little slight cold. Beaker and a droplet. Okay. I think we are kind of very specific to kind of see what.
I think I might have messed that up there.
No, you didn't mess it up. There's no messing up in the game. The whole point is that you can't mess up. That's the number one rule of the game. Is that there are no rules. Okay, so let's do it. We can get broad from there. So just pick a more
Okay.
broad term from speaker but we can't repeat the word. So a speaker and a beaker and a droplet. One,
Okay.
two, three. Teacher.
Change. I said change.
Change. Okay. Change and teacher. Like change like coins or change like something's changing?
Something's changing.
Oh, okay. Okay. So teacher and change. Okay. One, two, three.
Job.
Graduation. Oh, yeah, you can change jobs. But I thought graduation. Okay.
Yeah.
So job and graduation, something that connects those two. Or it can
Okay.
be even broader.
Okay.
Okay. One, two, three.
University.
Money. Money. Okay. So something that collects university and money. Ready? One,
Like,
two, three. Loans.
loans. Yes,
Yeah.
loans.
Is that what you were gonna say?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
loan. Yeah, loans. Okay. Yeah, hopefully they go away soon, but yeah, loans.
Uh-huh.
So with that, let's go ahead and get started with our fun game. Now that our minds are more relaxed, to get started with our interview. So, Maddie, you've been able to balance school, work, advocacy, and leadership, all while managing your own mental health. What are some things that help you stay grounded and joyful throughout that journey?
I try to put a lot of self-care into my routine. I am a very busy person, and that self-care I do is very grounding. I do a lot of grounding work. I do a lot of DBT therapy, which teaches me a lot of skills. I try to stay present with mindfulness. I try to participate in yoga. And these daily rituals for me not only recharges me, but reminds me of where I want to go and where I am.
Definitely having that time to breathe and relax is good for your mental health.
Yes.
Yeah, some high achievers, they may feel that they have to do it all, have all in quotes to be successful. But what has your personal experience kind of taught you about redefining what success looks like to you and to make room for your well-being so that you're not stretching yourself too thin?
I think in the past, when I was a teacher and my mental health wasn't where it needed to be, doing it all was a very minimalist activity for me. I put everything into my job, but I wasn't doing it all for myself. I wasn't taking care of myself, and my personal life was crumbling. It was falling apart, and I burned all the way out and had to change careers, and my mental health was terrible. And along the recovery journey, I started doing more and more and more, and I thought I had to do it all. But what I learned along the way is having that balance between work, school, and myself and my family keeps me healthy. I heard an analogy one time. You know, when you put a kettle on the stove and you put water in it, like to boil tea, and you put the heat on? Well,
Mhm.
what happens when you keep the heat on and you don't refill the water? The water burns and the kettle can catch on fire. And that's our lives too. If we don't refill ourselves and have that balance, we're going to crash and burn.
I love that analogy. It's very visual. Like
Yeah.
that's happened to me before where you go to make tea and you forget about it and there's no
Yeah.
water, so the kettle burns. And we don't want our kettle to burn. We want to make sure
Mm-mm.
that there's water there for the other things that we like to do in life. Of course, there's water for work, water for family, water for school, and water for ourselves. Yeah. So, as tell me more about your J&E support group and kind of the
Yeah.
purpose of it. And
So, well, along my recovery journey, I had a lot of questions. Why am I driving over an hour for services? Why am I coached to be silent? Why have I not met anybody like me? Questions like this. And so I set out to change those and answer the questions for myself. And I started J&E support group with that mission in mind. And it started out as just creating a support group for people living with schizophrenia, schizoaffective disorder, and bipolar disorder. And it's grown and grown and grown. We now have three support groups, two in person, one virtual, for different segments of mental health. But I'm also very interested in advocacy. So I do a lot of community engagement, lifting voices, public speaking. For example, we're planning a mental health simulation in July. I had an idea while I was writing a community assessment for my graduate program, and I needed an intervention. And my community assessment was a lot about low providers in rural areas and high levels of stigma. So, the purpose of the simulation is to give a day in the life of what it's like to live with mental illness and educate the public about what people go through, and it'll be followed with a panel of people with lived experience. And following that is free mental health first aid training. It's my way to give back to the community through advocacy while also educating to help alleviate stigma. And that's a lot of what the nonprofit does. It's all about building communities, and all of my services with the nonprofit are 100% free. I believe that mental health care is far too expensive. So I have a passion for equitable, affordable, and accessible services.
mhm. That's very, I would say, just kudos to you for what you've been able to do as
Yeah.
as a student in that too. And as someone who's went through serious mental challenges, like it's one thing to just take care of yourself, but to really invest and take that time to care for others as well.
Well, I felt like people were giving back to me so much along my healing journey that I wanted to give that back to other people. That's why I do peer support and work as a peer support specialist full time, because I want to let people know that hope and recovery are very real. It is very possible. A lot of people look at mental health like a death sentence. Oh, my life is over. It's a grieving process. It is, but we can recover. We can go into remission, and you can achieve any dream you want, regardless of your mental health diagnosis.
Mhm. And that's true, and that's definitely true. As long as you get it under treatment and get the
Yes.
care that you need and then take care of it.
You can't do any of it if you're not taking care of yourself, taking your meds, going to therapy, your holistic care. That's got to be your number one. But once you get there, give back to the world as well.
Mhm. Wow. So, what are some simple practices or mindset shifts that you've seen help people move from burnout to balance, even in very high pressured environment? What are some simple mindset shifts that can help?
I think coming to the realization that you're not a superhuman. We can't do all of it in one day. We can't do all of it without a team. And when people start asking for help, reaching out for support, and taking it step by step, it kind of alleviates a lot of that pressure. And then reframing your talk helps a lot too. Putting things into a positive light, expressing kindness, all of this will start radiating and alleviate some of those negative feelings.
Definitely, that self-compassion piece is like we've had some episodes about that before, but I think it's so key. But,
Yeah.
having self-compassion, treating yourself as your own best friend and watch how you talk to yourself and, know that you're worthy of support and help.
Living in knowing that living in gratitude and knowing that you're only one person and loving yourself for who you are will take you really far.
Mhm. Yeah, thank you for sharing that with us. So, we're going to do our wrap-up questions. So, Maddie, who is a model for joy in your life?
Who is a model for joy? That's a good question. I'm good. My dad was, he's no longer here, and
Sorry.
he had a lot of adversity in his life, but he was so persistent and resilient and happy to every single person he met and would give the shirt off his back. It really inspired me to be the person I am today.
That's wonderful. And then if you were building a cake of joy, like metaphorical cake, like what would be the top 3 ingredients?
Gratitude. Gratitude takes me a lot of wonderful places, just being thankful for what I do have. My health, my mental health, good mental health, and my support network. They all bring me joy and remind me who I am and ground me. And I love that person to person interaction.
Mhm. Thank you so much. So we've learned a lot today in this episode and some key themes kind of resurface as far as like filling your cup first and spending time caring for yourself because you don't want to burn like a kettle that's out of water. And Matt, so thank you so much for everything you shared with us, Maddie, because it's relevant to people with serious mental illness. It's also relevant to people who are stressed or burnt out. You could be at risk of illness if you don't take time to care for yourself.
Very
Um,
true.
so how our audience can best find you at
Yeah.
www.jesupport.org. They can find you.
Yeah.
Where else can they find you?
J&E Support Group is on all social media. The links are in our bio, and my email address is on our website.
Oh,
Whether it be you want to collaborate, listen, join a support group, we're here for it.
awesome. Well, thank you so much, Maddie. It's a pleasure. If there's one final phrase that you want our audience to leave with, or one final thought you want them to leave with, what is that?
Kindness is free. We don't know what's going on in someone else's mind. So express that kindness because it's bigger than a moment for some people. It's life changing.
Thank you. And that's so true. All right.